Okay.
Marie.
Yeah.
Barbara is calling. I'm gonna
Oh, Barbara's
answer.
here. Okay, yeah. Fred, I'll have to go. But listen, Barbara's here. Barbara's on the line to come back on or come on.
So
So
she'll call back in a
okay, so
second.
Fred, listen, come back again, please. I'd like to talk to you more.
All right.
All right, Fred.
I think I can do that. You're all right in my book.
I know I am. Thanks, Fred. Say hi
All
to
right.
Karen. Say hi to Karen. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Oh, good. She's making it in. Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Fred.
Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Barbara. Yeah.
Yay!
I
I
can't.
just came out. So, do you mind if I just
No, go for it.
jump right in?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I am in New York City. I am standing outside the concert hall, which is a really wonderful theater on the corner of 64th Street and Park Avenue West. So in Central Park West. So I'm right next to Central Park, and I'm watching as all the people are coming out. It was an amazing event. It started at 8 o'clock my time and ended moments ago, which is about 20 to 11 my time. And it was amazing. Let me just start by saying that I'm going to propose something to you. I thought I would just continue to walk down the streets of New York until I either get to 42nd Street or a subway near 42nd Street and just tell you as I'm walking along where I am along the way. Does that sound fun?
Absolutely. Fun time for me, yes.
Okay. So I'm right now exactly at the corner of 64th and Central Park West. So I'm going to cross the street over into Central Park and walk through there a little bit. But when the event began, just before the event began, I was kind of looking the place over. It is such an intimate space. It is about 20 steps from where I was sitting to the stage. The stage is only about a leg's length from the first set of rows, seat rows, so everybody is very close. The stage is shaped kind of like a half moon, so there was a couple of tables on the stage, and each table had a beautiful vase of deep pink roses with some baby's breath in them. Each table was covered with a beautiful white flowing cloth. The lighting was also quite intimate. He did keep the lights up just slightly in the audience so that we could all see each other. And I'll tell you how energetically that affected me here in a little while. At this very moment, I'm actually walking through Central Park. You can probably hear some of the cars along the side as well. But then the event began, and it was very upbeat. He started off by he started off by dancing onto the floor, to be honest with you. He's very funny, this guy. And just see, I guess I didn't say, this event was with James Van Praagh. Right. James Van Praagh, most of you already know who he is, but for those of you who may not, he is a noted medium, aura reader, ghost whisperer, all kinds of cool stuff like that. But he came dancing onto the stage and just started talking with us and entertaining us. He's very entertaining. And I didn't know that about him. I knew he was interesting, but I didn't know he was that funny and that entertaining. And he started off by telling us about his whole history. But I won't, share all that unless somebody's interested in that, how he got started in this whole thing. But he did have these abilities when he was a child. He saw auras, he saw dead people at wakes and things like that. And somewhere around his teens, it disappeared. He totally forgot he had it until somewhere in his 20s when he was in California. He met with a medium because a friend took him to see one, didn't even know what a medium was. And that medium said that in 2 years, you're going to be a medium. You are a medium now, but you will begin to be used by spirit. So 2 years to the day, he actually had his first situation where he had this, he was just doing his job, which was a variety of different things in California, trying to become a producer, a television producer. And he was in some building, saw an older woman walking behind a young woman, and the older woman stopped and looked right at him, and she was not alive. And she told him some things to say to her granddaughter, who she was standing, following. And he did, and then he was so freaked out about it, he called that medium, which was the only person he knew had ever had any experience with those things. And I said, do you realize it's 2 years to the day today that I told you it would be 2 years and the Spirit would start using you? So that's how he started off. Then he had us do a meditation, and it was wonderful. Very calming, very relaxing, it was more of a visualization than a meditation for me. But he wanted us to all try to get connected. And he was just as interested in trying to help us be able to do some of these things for ourselves as he was in just kind of, reading people, reading the spirits around them and stuff like that. He wanted us to learn as much as we could. So he was constantly trying to help us with that, and this was one of those things. I'm trying to think what else.
Barbara, how many people were there altogether at this?
It was full. With rare exception, it was full. And the place, as I said, was very intimate. It had 4 large sections in the bottom and 4 smaller sections in the, I'll call them more of a mezzanine level, because everything really was at the same level, just stair steps up. And so I would guess each one had about 200 people in it, 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but they were all really close together, so things were quite intimate. Let's see, so I'm still in Central Park, just so that you know. I am at the corner of Central Park West and 59th Street, where most of you probably know that they park horses and things like that. There's some major statues here. The CNN light is flashing at me at the top of the building, so that must be where the CNN hub is. I'm by the Trump Tower.
Fun.
Trying to think of, what's that movie with Macaulay Culkin, where he comes to New York?
Oh, Julie, you must know. God, I know what you're talking about. I forgot. Jeez.
I can't think of the hotel, but I'm standing there looking at the whole.
Julie, do you know?
Central Park is so open that you can actually see
Home
all
on
the
the
way down
Danes
to
Spread.
59th Street. It's like a beautiful scape of buildings. So that's where I am right now. And I'm continuing to walk on 59th Street right now. We did the meditation, and then we began to do some readings. Now, he never got to me, which was fine. He did about 4 or 5 readings, and then we took a break, did an intermission. That was around 9:40. And then he came back, and he did what he called soul readings. And he this woman basically started reading her chakras and was telling us her whole history as a soul in this life by reading her aura and her chakras. And I'm telling you, this guy was so good. He was blowing me away. In one point, he said to this woman, do you know someone named Wilson? She said, yes. And he's passed. And she said, yes. He goes, and you were thinking about him, weren't you? And she said, well, I went to his grave a couple of days ago. And he said, isn't there a white bench right there? Yeah, she said. And didn't you sit down on that bench? And he said, I hope that you come through. And she said, yeah. Stuff like that. It was really great. But he did a soul reading with this woman. And then he took pictures. He had people give him pictures. And he was reading those pictures and wanted to tell us how we could also take someone's picture or someone's rocket, which we also done earlier in the session, and read the energy from them and not the spirit of those individuals. So he took pictures and he was reading, I think he read 4 of those before we all closed out for the evening. But in a nutshell, that was the event. Now, here's what I got out of it, which was almost like completely in addition to. As I sat in my seat, I was right in the middle, first row, in what I'll call a mezzanine, even though it was, really the same one floor space. I had a perfect view. Frankly, there wasn't a seat in that whole place where there wasn't a great view. It was one of the wonderful, intimate things about it. And I was able to, as I looked at him, I saw energy coming off of him. I saw what I would call like a fog-like mist around him several times. I saw an orb just once come out of him. I don't think anyone else will see this, just me. And this orb came out, and the guy, it kind of brushed off of my left side, and then it got closer to me and got bigger. It was nearly transparent. And the coolest part was, when you look at the audience below, and again, you can see them all so well, it was as if they were a wave. Their movements were creating a wave.
Oh, wow.
And by that I mean, if the person's there on my left, and I'm looking at all their backs, of course, person that would be on my farthest left seat, they might raise their hand or, move their arm in some way, and then someone close to them would do something similar, and another one, so that if you watched it with your whole perception, so that your peripheral vision, so that you were looking at the whole audience at one time, you could see the equivalent of a wave. It did it over and over with different gestures and different movements. And have you ever been on a rowboat or a smaller boat in water, and it just kind of bobbles up and down a little bit, and kind of a little bit of a wave when there's a little bit of a ripple in the water?
Yeah, of course. I do. I know what you're
Have
talking
either
about.
one of you been in a boat when it's
Well,
been?
I was raised with boats, so I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, because I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it was like that too. It was like I felt like I could feel the connection. I could feel how everyone was connected together, and because it was slow, and it was almost like it was fading in and out as various little people would, I would see flashes, and it was people moving their arms or they're turning their head or whatever it might be. But again, it was the connectivity between all of it. So I got something special in addition from attending this event that had nothing to do with the entertainment value of the night.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
No, that wasn't. What'd you say? That wasn't. That sounds more. That's better than being entertained because he was involving you. It's like having you guys interact, involving you with with what you can do, right?
Yeah, I really felt like I was getting an energy experience. And I would say probably a dozen times during the night, he looked up at what felt like me or in my general direction. And it was just, a moment and then gone. And each time I felt like I was being recognized. And by that I mean that my energetic value was being recognized. I felt pulses. I felt heart expansions. I felt the connectivity. It was really, really cool.
That sounds like a bonus feature of it all, Barbara. The bonus feature. I mean, I know that you probably didn't know that. That was. I mean, there's one thing going to see him and telling him to these people, because I've seen him on TV. I've never seen him at an event or in person, but it sounds like he actually was helping to educate people as well, or being open to, that what's around us we should pay attention to. So that's fantastic. I mean, I don't feel that you thought you were going to get that.
That's exactly how I felt. I felt like he was just as interested, if not more so. Oh, sweetie, I'm talking to some of the horses at the carriage right here along 59th Street next to Central Park. And then, I can feel the energy of these horses. I mean, they're like looking right at me, and it's wonderful. But yeah, you're right. It really seems as if he was just as interested, if not more so, in helping people understand how they can do it at home.
So you learned a lot on how to deal with something like if somebody was open anyway to outside or energies or dead people or whatever, or imprints left over by situations, about how they can be open to that.
I did, but I also felt more like I was being recognized for already having that ability.
Got it.
That's how I felt.
That's great.
And it also allowed me to experience that, which I've never really experienced, where I could genuinely feel the connectivity between that intimate group of people before.
So it felt real safe and sound too to be able to feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a blast. I'm still on the blast.
I was looking up. He's doing a couple different. He's heading towards, New Orleans. Or he's all going all over. It's called the Spirit, an Eating with Spirit. I think was it called. The name of it. I think that he called that. And I was looking up. He hasn't been up. He hasn't been around. See, I haven't heard about him for a while. So.
Nor have I. And I found out about this by getting an email from him when I down his list, but I don't really read them, and for some reason I read that one, and on 1/11, which is today, January the 11th, he was going to be here, which is only a couple of days away.
I know.
And I thought, let's just check this out and just see, what's possible here. And voila, there I am.
And you went alone, didn't you, Barbara?
What?
You went by yourself to this event.
I did. I went by myself.
Good.
Very happy to go by myself.
No, I agree because because it's your own experience and it doesn't mean that you have to. I mean, who knows how it would have been with someone else? How was he picking people out of certain people to read? How did he do that? Because I've seen him on TV before. How did he pick? Why would he pick certain people out to do the other things like touching with their loved people have passed on?
He kind of did it in the same way. I've never seen him do this on TV in a group before. It reminded me a lot of how John Edwards does it, in that he would start just with some piece of information and ask if that sounded like it connected to someone. A couple of times, though, he actually pointed and said, I think I'm talking to you, someone in your area, and he was literally talking to that person.
Wow.
He's trying, that's the right person. And then he would just start talking, and he was very detailed. He gave specific things. And that is your daughter, right? It's just like that. And, he might say, someone whose name starts with a D, or someone named Dorothy, your daughter. And he's like, and Dorothy's your daughter, right? Just like that. And your daughter is this old, and she did this at this age, and stuff like that. It was amazing. And this one, at the very end, he said to this one woman, he goes, and your daughter, she loved her hair, didn't she? And she told him, yes. And she goes, and didn't you get a piece of her hair that you took with you before she was buried? And his mother said, yes. And he goes, and didn't you, 2 days ago, didn't you look at that piece of hair in the drawer and think about bringing it with you, but you didn't? And you picked it up, but you put it back in a slightly different place in the same drawer. And then later on, you went back and took it out. And is it in your purse right now? And she said, yes.
Yeah,
and she said that's exactly the way that you mentioned that is just what happened to me.
You brought up about a sense of humor, and I have seen him on TV. He is a real funny guy. He has really good. He's got a great sense of humor. He was talking about Farrah Fawcett the last time I saw him on TV, a long time ago. He was talking. I think he was very close to her. It's somewhat. As I can recall this being, but he was very good sense of humor, different than John Edward type. But go on. I'm sorry, Barbara. Sorry, go on, Barbara. Oh, we lost her because I interrupted her. Damn it! She'll call back. We lost her, huh, Julie?
Yes, we did.
As she's going through all these places in New York, I'm envisioning all these places because I've been to those places. And I'm going to be moving Mariah out there to go to school in Columbia, I've been talking about it for a long time. That'll be this summer. But I can't wait because I like New York City.
When does she come back from Thailand?
The end of March, and then she'll be here. Oh, there she's. Barbara's back.
She's back.
Yeah, it looks like we got cut off for a second.
It's okay.
I was just saying that I'm still on 59th Street. I crossed over to the other side of the street, and I'm looking out on Central Park across the street, and I'm almost at Fifth Avenue, so I thought I would take a right here and just travel down Fifth Avenue and tell you a few sites as I'm going along on my way to Grand Central. How does that sound?
I love it because when you were off, I was going, when you're talking about it, it's like in my head, I love everywhere you are. I've been there. And I'm visualizing as you're walking, you're telling me, I'm just going, oh yeah, I know it. I'm walking alongside of you. So continue. I love it. I love it.
Well, let me see what else can I tell you about some of the things that he said. He did actually talk about coincidence a couple of times, and each time he did one of those looks up in my direction. So, I mean, again, I'm not saying he looked at me, it's just was in my direction, and I felt the energy of it. I kind of feel like, I'm really open.
Right.
And I feel like I'm open more. I feel like it's just, pushed, if you're on the inside of a soap bubble, let's say, and you just blow a little bit more breath, it opens a little bit more. That's how I feel.
That's interesting. I'm glad you went to this. Actually, there's somebody in our chat room still, and she's been going through, I won't name her, but she's been going through some interesting times. And I told her about the show tonight because she's going through her own journey of her mediumistic stuff is coming out. She's been having a rough time with it. So I like the fact that you said that he almost like gave you interactive with everybody that actually has stuff going on. And you said he did a meditation in the beginning?
Yeah, I'll share a couple of things. One was a meditation, and he really just said what we've all heard, that, when you meditate, you go to a really quiet place, and at that quiet place, that's where you really connect. So he played some soft music, and he walked us through the same kind of meditation that you know what? I actually tried to record this whole thing. I put fresh batteries in my recorder. It's a 17-hour recorder, digital recorder, and after about an hour, the batteries were gone.
Oh my God, drained.
So I'm not sure if I got that meditation or not. If I actually got the meditation, I'll post it up.
Okay.
And another cool thing is, while we were there, he took a live video of us. He's got this little travel diary kind of online on his Facebook page. And I've seen it. After I signed up for this event, I went over there, and he has been taking pictures. They said some people have asked him if he would maybe take some video or make it more interactive in some way. And so he took a quick video of the whole room. So I'm sure it's up there now. If anybody wants to pop on over to James Van Praagh's Facebook page, you might actually see me sitting in the middle, left, he's filming. I would be on the right side, mezzanine level, front row. That's me. Okay, now I've just turned on to Fifth Avenue, and it looks like they still have some of their Christmas decorations up. We're in front of Louis Vuitton. I see a giant, what do you call it, snowflake hanging in the middle of the road. And if I see anything else interesting other than shoes and clothes and crap like that,
I want to hear about. I want to hear about it all.
Well, I'm Bergdorf Goodman's is across the street. Let's see. I am now at 57th Street and Fifth Avenue, and I'm trying to see what other. I don't see any stores that have names that somebody would recognize, but there's some gorgeous buildings. If I find anything of note, I'll just pop right in.
Yeah.
But what I thought was that all of it would be positive as far as the readings and stuff. I didn't really expect that he would talk in detail about people who had bad experiences or negative experiences in their lifetime. And the one woman he connected with at a soul level, her life was tragic. And out of respect for her, I won't go into detail about it, but he hit the nail on the head 100% of the time, and it was, again, very detailed. From the time she was 18 months old or 14 months old, he started talking about that's when she first started walking, and she went from there. And it was very, very emotionally heavy. But what his whole point was saying, this is your journey. You picked this before you got here. You needed all that. And he said, if all those things wouldn't have happened to you, and then you got your power back after you divorced your husband in your early 30s, you would never have gone back to school, and you would never be the teacher you are now and changing the lives of so many people. You never would have been that teacher. And so he's trying to explain, how it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to. On front of the Trump Tower, passing it, Abercrombie and Finch, Dolce and Gabbana, Gucci. Anybody want me to pick anything up for him?
Yeah, I would like to. Well, you already went by Louis Vuitton. There's Barbara. I have her up on the screen. I have Barbara up on the. Oh no, now she's off of it. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. There you go. There's Barbara. Right. Wait a minute. Keep going, Barbara. I'm sorry. I'm just talking to myself. I'm trying to get to you.
No, I actually would be interested to see if anybody in the chat room has any questions, or if there are some other things you want to talk to me about, because I really just brushed the surface. It was a 2-hour and almost 45-minute event.
Yeah, in fact, I thought it looked like it was 3 hours. I was trying to figure out the time. See, Julie, I have Barbara up there on the screen now. Pretty tricky. I have you up there, Barbara. A photo of you that I love that I found on your website, Facebook.
Great picture too.
It's a great picture.
I do have a question for you. Can you guys hear me okay with all the street noise?
Yeah, I could hear you. There's a couple times where you were getting a little bit a little quieter, but I was pulling up as the sound a little bit. But no,
well, let me know if it gets to be too much, because I can always turn and go down Madison or Park.
You're perfect
or some
right
side street.
You're perfect right now.
Okay.
Okay, Julie, do you see do you see Barbara's face up in the chat room?
Yes, I do.
Fred didn't, but Fred is crazy. Go on, Barbara. Is there anybody in the chat room? Lotus, do you have any questions for Barbara? I thought Lotus might, about what you were talking about. And I'm putting everybody on the spot. It is a great photo. I could put a photo of you I found on Facebook, Barbara. It says, I don't know, it's fantastic. Oh, will you lose her?
Did he already post that video? Because I thought that it went straight to...
I didn't get the video up. I'm just while you're talking, I have my face off, so people in the chat room are looking at your still picture, is what I have. You're still.
Oh, you're so funny. You can put it on my picture.
No, it's great.
I don't look like that.
No, it's a beautiful. Julie, isn't it beautiful?
Yes, you look beautiful.
Yes, I have a beautiful photo of you right there.
Well, then it can't really be me. It's probably Photoshopped me version 433.
No. Okay, Lotus wants to know, what did you learn? What did you learn? Well, I guess you kind of. And what did he teach you? Well, for you,
that I already have some type of an energetic connection that I'm only brushing the surface with, and that it's expanding. And frankly, if I can find a way to spend more time in density, in the physical with people more like me, I think that it would allow me to expand even further, because just being in the presence of all of that energy, directed as he did with the meditation and such, I think that was part of the reason that energy was what I was seeing, And you can't do that when you're doing a meditation in your own room.
That's true. Did that help you? She says pretty picture, too, of you.
Well, thanks. I've actually turned on the side road now to give you guys a bit of a break. I'm passing Rockman's Steakhouse and Grill and another restaurant called Papillon.
Did you already pass 21 Club?
And
yeah, I think you did.
It was funny, too, because when I left from Astoria, Queens, to come here tonight, and in Astoria, it's kind of split into two parts. But the part I was in, you take the N train, and I was at the last stop on the N train, Ditmars, and for almost 50 minutes, I saw a train leave the station as I was walking up the steps, and as I sat down in the subway train, because it's the last stop, it's trying to go back in the other direction, they said, there's, due to police business or police something, this train is temporarily suspended. So I'm sitting there for 50 minutes going, okay, well, I guess I'm going to meditate. One by one, everybody else got off the train over the next 10 minutes. I'm the only one sitting there, comfortably so, just sitting there meditating for 50 minutes, and then
that part. Okay, we're back. We should be back on broadcast now. Yeah, there we are.
Okay.
Okay, we're back on. So
well, I don't know if I said this on the air, but I'm at Madison and 49th Street. So to give it people perspective of where I am in this journey.
So how long have you been? So how many miles or steps have you put in walking?
64th to 49th, plus a couple of long blocks from Central Park West to 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue, 5th Avenue, and now I'm in Madison. But it's interesting. It's like walking in a movie set or something, especially this time of night because all the lights are amazing. The sidewalk is glistened with, fresh mist from the rain, and the streets don't have as many people on them, so it's magical.
It's Saturday night there too.
Yeah, it's Saturday. Well, most of them are in those taxis that are honking their heads off.
So, are you walking back to your place? Are you able to walk all the way back?
I'm going to walk to Grand Central Station, where I'm going to grab a subway back to Astoria, where my car is.
Okay, I see. What a fun time out. It just makes me want to go out. Well, I was talking to Mariah. Mariah came in tonight. Mariah came in because she knew you were going to be here. She tried, and her internet was all messed up. She goes, she wanted, because she remembers you, of course. And she did come in earlier before you came on, and she tried to stick in, but she couldn't see anything or hear anything. But maybe she can hear this on the archives. I'm sure she can, because she goes, as a
matter of fact, I think you should do it with the archives of your show, especially this one. I think you're on YouTube eventually, correct?
Yes, I do put it on YouTube. I do that, yes.
Well, I think that you guys should, Julie, if you're listening, you should line it up with YouTube. You can actually share it and then click this little button that shares it in exactly the same spot where the video is at that moment, playing. Line it up where I come on, and you should send that link to the Van Praagh people and share this really great review of his event.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, my gut tells me that it will get played.
That's a good idea, huh, Julie?
Yeah, and just think of all the exposure you're going to get. And then all these people are going to know how wonderful you are, Maureen.
It's because of you, Barbara, not how wonderful I am. Because I think this is such a fantastic idea to happen like this. When you brought up reporting from the streets live.
But the reason that I'm here is because of how I feel about you. You're just an amazing woman with a lot of talent. You're so funny, and you've got great personality, and you're good at what you do.
Thanks, Barbara. You're sweet.
And have you told people what you do?
Yes, I have told people.
So if somebody, I just mean why don't you take a moment and just share with people all the skills that you have, so that if anybody does listen to this audio, they'll know what to reach back out and hook up with you.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I don't label myself, but I am an intuitive psychic empath, and I utilize tarot cards as my main tool, although I don't need them, but I feel better. And I help people. My main thing is, to help people actually. Good old-fashioned spiritual development is what I really like to focus on. But, I help people with relationships, but I love the business and ventures and career things. But I also do it with I take pride. I'm very objective. And you have to be very objective with anybody that you're reading for. And I also feel every negative can be a positive. Whatever I read, I'm not a fortune teller. But I do feel that people, have choices and such. But and I get, I'll tell you something. I get a lot back from some readings. I get a lot back from my own personal development, spiritual development. And I do what I do because I must. It's not what I picked to do, but
That's exactly what you said tonight, Maureen.
Really?
Yeah, you said, I do what I do because I must. You said the word.
Really? There you have it. And like I told
you,
there you have. I don't tell. I don't like the word believe. Believe. I have a hard time with it because it's almost like that's where you're conforming to the world or our world of whatever. So I always say I just know what I know, and that's it. And so I'm really open. I'm a skeptic in a lot of ways to everything because I know all I know is what my experience has been, but I'm open to everybody else's, whether I think they're out there or not. I mean, who am I to say? So that's what I like that about me though, because
I do too.
you know, I am open to anything, and I do feel that everybody's reading I read for is different. It can't be generalized. Things are interesting in this world, you know, the synchronicities of things and all that. But and also I, you've got to keep yourself in check with your ego and false ego and all that in this work. But
So
yeah,
true. Just to give you an update, I'm at 43rd in Madison. So I've got a couple more blocks to go, and then I will be at Grand Central. I might have to just say, good night until next week.
I think this, Barbara, I love the fact that this all came together thanks to your idea with this. I think it was fantastic, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. And I know that there's one particular person I feel that would know, and you know who you are in here. I'm not going to say her name. That probably appreciated hearing this because because of her experiences, what she's going through. And so as far as people, and actually, what you brought up about James is that the fact that he wants to help other people, and there's a lot of people that are mediums that want to help other people, but they'll start going into their black magic and there's something else and getting the dead all stirred up. That's not what it's all. It's true. That's not what it's all about. It's about someone who's real, authentic. That is about being open to sharing. Everybody has it. Some people are more open than others, no doubt. But some people's,
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's throw something out there. I live on Long Island. I spend a lot of time in the city. If anybody knows of another event that they want me to go to, look for know, and she can, contact me, and I will do my darndest to get some tickets, and we can do something fun like this again.
That's a great idea. Hi, Julie. Don't you think I think that's a great idea.
That's a wonderful idea.
Absolutely.
Well, because it's fun. I'm actually entering one of the side entrances to Grand Central, but I'm not going to stay with you for a minute.
Okay.
This brings you into whenever somebody takes a picture at Grand Central Station, this is the image that you see. It's the whole station.
It's beautiful.
An elevated view.
Isn't it beautiful? It's a beautiful state, Grand Central, as I can remember.
It is. And I'm actually having to be a little bit more quiet now. I guess I can talk loud, but I'm trying to be respectful.
Yeah.
And I'm in. Could you tell the difference in the volume level and human size?
Yes, I can.
Well, I'm inside now, and what I thought I would do is, unless anybody has any questions or there's something else you want me to comment on while I'm standing here overlooking Grand Central Station, I would beg my leave and take a quick picture here with the cell phone of my ex-husband and post it in the next couple of days so that everybody can see the ending point of this phone call.
Yeah, and also, so this is Barbara Crank. Barbara, could you tell everybody your full name, if you don't mind?
Do I have to?
No, you don't.
I like to be anonymous.
You don't have to.
No, my name is Barbara Karnes.
Okay.
And I am just an enthusiastic supporter of people like Maureen.
She's lovely too. I've known Barbara for a long time, and my daughter just adores her too. Because thank you, Barbara, so much. I really appreciate you joining us. Really, it was great. I loved it.
Well, I hope that you guys found it interesting, and let's see if we can figure out a way to do this again sometime soon. I don't really care what the event is as long as it's related in some way to something a little on the woo side or spiritual side or energy side or something like that.
Absolutely. I think it's great. Well,
okay.
I'm giving you
love you so much, girlfriend.
Love you too. Thank you, Barbara, so much. Bye.
Thank you, Barbara.
Bye, Maureen. Bye, Julie.
That was lovely.
That was
fantastic. Fun. And sorry, I don't know why the broadcast went off the thing, but oh well. I corrected it, didn't I not? So there'll be part 1 and part 2. The part 2 will be... so anyway, that was interesting. I hope you guys got some stuff out of it. And you could hear it. I know there was some echoing and whatever else have you. Unfortunately, I need to have a better sound system, but too bad. I think it's a great idea, which he talked about, maybe sending it. Maybe I could clean it up a bit. But anyway, that's our show for this evening. And I'm going to say goodbye. Julie, you want to say goodbye too?
Goodbye, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. And there you have it. And I'll get this archive up tonight. I'll get it up on YouTube as well. Okay? So that's it. Dan, I'll see you guys next week, Julie. Yes? We'll be here next week?
Yes.
Next week it is, unless I go off the deep end. Bye, Doug. Bye, Lotus, Reggie, Fred. Come back, Susan, and anybody else I have not said hello to. And Julie, I'll just, okay, I'm going to, well, Julie, I'll say goodnight to you in a minute. Thanks, you guys. Bye.